Great sound, weird fit. Let's check these out. Dave Taylor here, and I'm checking out these. These are the Shure AONIC 215 earbuds, and they're really interesting. Let me take one out. So they have really good sound, as you would expect from Shure, a company that's been in the audio gear equipment market forever. And they actually have a really curious design. So this is for my right ear. It actually has a nice big R on the base of it, but it's a little tricky to get it to fit because this goes in your ear, this goes around your ear, and then this piece ends up being behind your ear. So there's a little bit of a science to it. So I find that I end up using two hands and then turn the earbud piece, and if it's looking awkward and clumsy, it is awkward and clumsy. So I'm almost there. There we go. So now I have the earbud in place. I have the piece behind it. So I'm good to go. Here's a close-up if you're curious what that looks like. And that right there is the biggest problem I have with these. They have really good sound. There's a lot to like. The whole design is really cool, but they're really awkward to work with. Once you get them in your ears, then that works fine. And taking them out is super easy. That's as easy as it could get. But you know, you're gonna really have to practice. You're gonna have to get used to this, or you're gonna put them in and then like not touch them for 6 hours because it's such a pain. Now, let me tell you a little bit about the audio piece of this, which is of course the most important part. Dynamic micro driver, 107 decibels of sensitivity. They're 20 ohm, 21 to 17,500 hertz frequency response. And what's cool is that the actual earbud is using the MMCX connector, so you can take it off. And then you can, for $29, buy wires that you can actually take the two, plug them in, and use them as wired headphones if you'd prefer. So this is really the Bluetooth, and obviously this part is the battery. And then you can just plug them back in. And so now I'm good to go again. That's easy enough. And it's Bluetooth 5.0. They are IPX4, so they're perfectly happy with you being sweaty if you're on a run or something. And obviously a design like this, once you do have it and it's over your ear, you can do a pretty vigorous workout, and these aren't going anywhere once you finally get them in the right place. So each earpiece gives you 8 hours of playtime, which is phenomenal. And then you put it in the little charging case. And as you can see, the charging case, it really just looks like a carrying case, but it's secretly a charging case. That gives you 3 more charges, so that gives you 32 hours of listening without having to recharge them. And then when you are ready to charge, there's USB-C here. There's even a button. You can check the status of your charge. And basically, my earbuds are charging right now. That is pretty darn easy. So they have support for aptX and AAC and SBC. So whether you have something like my brand new iPhone 13 Pro or an Android phone or whatever, these are going to give you the best possible sound. Now, in the box, and honestly, isn't that a great box design? I really love their circular boxes. It's very fun. It's like some sort of like 1940s mini hat box. But in here is a quick start guide, 6 different ear tips. There's 3 soft flex and 3 foam tips. They come with foam tips on, and they're not easy to remove those foam tips. So you need to sort of get your finger underneath the bottom and pull it up. Don't just do that because you will destroy them. So they're a little sensitive. Is a full user guide. There is a charging cable that's USB-C on one end and USB-A on the other end. And that's it. You know, it's a cool design. Lots of stuff it comes with, everything that you really want. But of course, really, it's all about the earbuds themselves. Now, one of the things that's nice is, stay there, there you go, is once you get it working, then you actually can use their Shure Plus Play app. Let's see if this is there. That's a little easier. If it was in the right place, there we go. And I'll put the other one in because while I'm doing this, the app has said, I see you have earbuds. and it's actually noticed that I only had one ear in. So now, once I get the second ear in, and you can see it's not, a complete nightmare to get them in your ears. It's just awkward. So that's something you just need to sort of get the hang of. But let me record my screen so you can see what's happening. So now I have my earbuds in, and you can see in the Shure app, or the Shure Plus Play app, that there are a bunch of controls. So environmental mode lets me actually bring in more of the sounds around me, and I'm in a pretty noisy environment. I have a dishwasher running right there because we live in noisy worlds, and so I think that's a great test for these. So I can turn on environment mode, and now I'm getting a lot more ambient sound, whereas if I turn it off, then it's a little bit more noise reduction. It's not an active noise canceling system, but it does give you more isolation, which is great. If you scroll down a bit, you can see that there's controls. I can adjust what happens when I tap on the buttons. I can even change and turn on like this busy light. So if I'm on a phone call, they will have a tiny little red light on each side, which I assume you train people to say, if my earbuds are red, then leave me alone because I'm on a call. Otherwise, it's not like on air or something like that, but that's the intention of it. You can go to equalizer, and there's tons of EQ settings, and it's always fun to play with. And then you can check out music. You can actually get to your music directly. And finally, you can go into settings and check for things like firmware updates, which is always good because these devices change over time. So there's a lot I like about these, and the sound, really that's the only thing we have left to talk about is the sound. And I just want to say, they sound really good. I really like them. It's really important to experiment with different earbuds to get those that work best for your ears. When I tried them with the default foam ear tips that they came shipped with that were a size medium, they didn't work very well, and I put them in and I maneuvered and I sort of thrashed around. And you're seeing my cats are coming to investigate. I'm sure that these won't work with their ears, but they didn't work really well with my ears, and it was a little frustrating because I was like, these are Shure. I expect these to sound really great, and they don't sound really great. But then I actually changed ear tips and went to the larger of the soft flex tips, and boy, they sounded a lot better. And they really have a nice, rich, lush sound. There's so much to like about these. I think Shure got so much right. I'm just not a fan of how awkward they are to put on and off. And again, like I said, I feel like if I had more time with them, I would get better at it. And so maybe that's just sort of a short-term complaint, and longer term, you'd be like, yeah, it's worked itself out. But there's a good sound stage. It's not a huge sound stage. It's a good sound stage. It's really crisp reproduction. I was listening to a bunch of different music and some early Roger Hodgson from Supertramp, and it was just really fun. It's a really lively reproduction, which I really appreciate. So lots to like here. You can get them with this blue earpieces. They also have black earpieces if you prefer something slightly more subtle. Not everyone likes that subtle look. Some people like to have things be a little brighter, and that's okay. They have that covered. Do notice in this close-up how they fit in here, because I did not pay attention to that, and I was putting them in wrong, and they weren't charging. So this light is telling you that they're charging. That is a useful thing. And so now, as I said, I can close this up. I'm even getting reinforcement of that red light here. I can push the button on the back, and I can see that I have 2 more charges. They do an easy job of showing you how much power. So really, all that's left to talk about is the price. So these are, I suppose I should open it. Let's open this up again. These are the Shure AONIC 215 earbuds, and they are $229 at Shure.com. Now, I'm a middling fan. Like I said multiple times already, and I'll just reiterate one last time, I find them a little awkward to put in my ears, but once I have them set, with the app and with my music and everything, they sound really good. So there's lots to like here, especially if you're willing to spend some time getting the hang of it and learning how you need to do your hand gestures. And it might be that my ears are slightly atypically shaped, so yours might just go whoop right in without any problem. Don't know. Anyway, click on that subscribe if you're so inclined. Appreciate when you subscribe to my channel. Give me some feedback. Give me a thumbs up if you appreciated this review. That's all I got. I think I'm going to go back to my music, which means I'll catch you in my next video.